Right, so tell us more about BUFF, the British Urban Film Festival. How and why did it begin?
So it all started in West London, funnily enough, back in 2005 when I was heading up the African Caribbean Society at my uni, which is at Thames Valley University, which is now University of West London. And we went to the Prince's Trust Urban Music Festival, as it was back in 2005, and Will Smith and Akon were
Gosh, I'd
the
forgotten
main
about
guests.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were probably there.
Probably.
Yeah.
The brands, they come and they go. That's why the brands that last forever, you got to respect them.
Indeed. So it was at that event that I said to my friend who was with me at the time, you've got all these people in one room organised by Prince Charles, and why aren't we as black people doing something similar? So an urban music festival concept then became an urban film festival concept, and we just put a B at the end, and then it became BUFF.
And of course, BUFF is cute because BUFF in slanguage means...
Well, where do you want to start with BUFF? So
give us the clean version.
The clean
BUFF.
version, polished.
Yeah, in slanguage, in street slanguage, BUFF means...
Nang, peng, beautiful.
So for anyone driving around going, I have no idea what you're talking about, could you define that in an Oxford English Dictionary manner?
So BUFF is a euphemism for something that is beautiful or attractive.
So if someone walks past you and goes, she's buff, I can take that as a compliment?
Yes.
Right.
They usually put well buff.
Well buff. She's well buff.
Yes.
But do you think that we are now in a period of more than self-reflection, that the whole industry realises it has to change?
Oh, very much so. I mean, it's definitely about more action and less talk. I mean, whilst the speech is to be congratulated, there's work that needs to be done. I mean, like you said, I founded the British Urban Film Festival 13 years ago because I care about how I'm represented, not just on screen, but off screen as well. So when I didn't see myself through an organisation, I set up one by myself. And like I said, 13 years later, we are creating our own systems to look after the best creative talent that there is in the UK. So it's not about waiting, it's actually about doing.
For nearly 2 decades, Emmanuel Anyiam-Osigwe's obsession with diversity has won the hearts and minds of filmmakers and audiences alike. His blueprint for how minorities should be represented has stood the test of time, long before the penny dropped for other institutions far and wide that diversity truly matters. This year, as BUFF marks its 15th anniversary, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Never has diversity been more relevant than in 2020. And as long as the issue remains in the public eye, Emmanuel has ensured that for creatives everywhere, the British Urban Film Festival is a broad church that welcomes all creeds and all colours, comfortable in its own skin and bold in its approach to storytelling and showcasing film as seen through the social and cultural lens. From BFM to Buckingham Palace, it's been quite a journey for the man who literally bet the house on making BUFF the success that it is today.
The days of the empire are dead. Britain is no longer a great military power. The economy's in the pits. But one way in which we still outshine the rest of the world is in our storytelling, our culture, our films. We are the world's storyteller. We have been, and we could continue to be. But for that to be the case, we need to give a platform for new voices in British film that represent the true diversity we see out there on the streets. And that's what BUFF is here to do.
First off, one, thank you for acknowledging Dad. One, because he was a director, he was a producer, he was a writer, besides a comedian, and how he was as a dad is he was a great dad. He just had a lot of hookers, and that's okay, that's okay. We all need a little hooking in our lives. Why I asked you to come up here is because I knew very little about BUFF, and And so when you asked me to come for the award, I remember I turned to you and I said, well, if it's a film festival, you should be putting in my documentary. Because I really go with the thing of, you ain't got to ask nobody. And so I was, and I approached you, and the fact that I hooked you up with Daryl and you guys made it happen. The other is, you came through on your word in an industry, at least for me, that people have not come through on their word. And to be who you are, but to be a black man of his word for this American biracial woman means more to me and really honors the legacy of my father. And what you're doing for other filmmakers honors the legacy of my father. And I wanted to acknowledge you in front of everybody and say thank you so much.
Everyone knows me. I'm a book person, and I stumbled through my way in film late in life, and got ideas like everyone else, but how do you get them out there, especially with the background I've got. And Buff, 6 years ago, gave me my first opportunity. Yeah, Emmanuel, the founder. I made a short film, and no, short film was a documentary. I got it out there, and it was a casual, it was a football thing, English white working class. So I had a premiere with a load of football hooligans and whatnot, and there was one black man sitting in the front row, and I thought, who's that? You know what I mean? And he introduced himself as Manuel, and he put me in the Buff Film Festival in 2011, I think it was. And it's kind of nurtured me, supported me, showed me the way through the industry minefield, showed me all the different agendas they're up against, and give us support all the way. And to get the film in Beverley last year, I thought that was victory enough. And the nominations, when I see the nominations, because we've been on the festival circuit for about a year, and we've seen these films, and they're all worthy nominations, and to come out on a raffle ticket here is amazing. And it's the same week that we've entered the film Beverley into the Oscars.
To it. I'm a big supporter of the festival. I think we need more kind of help to push our films through, and I think this is an amazing thing that's happening. It's been running for a long time. The festival's always supported our films, and I just think it's an amazing thing to all come together on one night and just celebrate it, because people work so hard on these films. You see the end product, and you don't always necessarily understand kind of how much work and how much struggle goes behind getting a film made. So I'm just so grateful to kind of be here and being asked to come down, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. But woo!
I mean, Emmanuel, the founder of British Urban Film Festival, I know him personally, and I thought, well, this kind of content, I have to reach out to him, and I was very happy that he liked the film. So I'm very grateful the fact that it's being shown.
And I'd just add to that, actually, like, I'm very grateful actually for the British Urban Film Festival, because what it's doing is putting a platform for independent film. Most of the filmmakers involved in there, we are working on limited budget, so it's great for us when we hear that it looks like a Hollywood production, because we are working with shoestring budgets. So if we can achieve that professional, high-caliber look, that's great. And if we get a platform, because it's not every day that we get these opportunities, but if we get the platform to show it on the big screen in front of people from the film industry, that's fantastic. And again, this is work that hasn't been somewhat diluted by the commercial world. We're independent filmmakers, so we have complete creative control of our vision, and that's beautiful. And then to be given the opportunity to show that to people from the industry without them having to put their 2 pence worth in, saying, oh, can you take this, can you remove that, can we have this product placed in the scene? It's completely unfiltered, 100% what we wanted to project in front of the film industry. That's fantastic, and I'm very, very grateful for the British Urban Film Festival for giving us that kind of platform, us and other filmmakers as well.
Restrictions as well.
What I'd say is that, I see Emmanuel as a bit of a one-man band, and he's done an amazing job for 10 years. Some of it I've been aware of, not all of it, but you can only, you'll see when you have the award ceremony how many films came through in the last 10 years. I've been judging one of the categories, and I've seen for myself. So I'd like to congratulate you and have another good 10 years. Thank you. all of you filmmakers, you know that a lot of you are here. Good luck to you all. Have a great time, and there's nothing like seeing your film on a big screen.
I'd really like to praise and thank Emmanuel. Right from the off, when we made Sus, I think even before Sus, he started the festival, he was doing short films. And I met this young, tenacious young black man who was like, yeah, I'm trying to make these films, And, you know, it would have been, at the time, it would have been very easy to dismiss him. Not that he was doing anything wrong, it's just that I've met so many people over the years that have tried to set up film festivals, tried to set up systems to encourage black people to be in the film industry. And there was something about the look in his eye, the definiteness and the honesty that made me really trust and know that he was going to continue, that what he was trying to do would continue. So, in a way, I want to accept this award on behalf of him being such a supporter for all of us.
As an individual, you know, you have to believe in your dream, you have to believe in yourself, you have to believe in, you know, what you're striving for way past when everybody else has given up. It's one of the few professions where there are no guarantees for anyone. There is a certain amount of reinvention of ourselves. Even if it's very, very subtle, very, very slight, it's about, you know, staying ahead of the trends, creating new trends, but always believing that you have something vital and important to say. The minute you stop believing that, then that's when your dream dies. And in order to keep your dream alive, you have to fan the flame.
My main objective is to inspire others, and you know, to kind of create. I've always wanted to create a gang of actors. We used to call it the Black Pack, right, Rich? Where we get, you know, like a lot of up-and-coming emerging talent and kind of teach them about the industry, because it's really cool to have raw talent, but to know how to act in different environments is a difficult thing, and a lot of up-and-coming talent don't have that skill. So I've spent a lot of my time kind of mentoring, giving advice, and being a part of a lot of things from, you know, conception to where we get to see it. And I've worked with some really brilliant people. Femi, you know, Slim. I mean, there's so many names I can mention. I could be here all day, but I'm just really honoured to kind of get this. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had an award since I got the most promising newcomer at the British Independent Film Awards many years ago, yeah, for Bullet Boy, and I've been bitter ever since, kind of watching other people walk home with awards. So we got in the cab tonight, and my mum was like, "Don't worry, son. Yeah, you definitely know you're gonna get this one." Thank you very much.
Best feature film.
Yeah, it's amazing.
How do you feel?
No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant to be recognised by BOF. Obviously, BOF have supported us over the years. They showed my first short film like years ago. Like Emmanuel likes to remind me of that every so often.
Love that. What was the best bit?
It was called Fresh Off the Boat. No one wants to watch that. It's not good. Watch The Intent. It's on Netflix. And so yeah. So it's nice to get recognition for, you know, what we've done, and like, you know, it's brilliant.
And what does BOF feel like? What does it mean to you?
I suppose, like, you know, it's really good, like, to see the growth of BOF. For me, like, you know, I was on the radio yesterday and I was talking about BOF, and it's like, you know, it's nice to see the growth and like to see the idea, like, every year just get better and better. This year it's like the BT Tower. Who knows, like, where it's gonna be next year? Like, you know, like the Shard or something, like. And so it's like, you know, no, but it's like, it's brilliant. It's brilliant just to see, like, you know, as we grow, BOF grows, and like, you know, hopefully, like, as the industry and the opportunities that exist for black entertainers within this country expands, BAF and organisations such as BAF, because BAF is beyond the award, right? Organisations such as BAF having enough finances to continue to grow their business and also really support the industry and nurture talent.
If you faced down all the naysayers, jumped all the barriers in order to pull off the nearly impossible and produce a film that tells a story you want to tell, can you get the holy grail of a distribution deal? No. Historically, the answer to that has been a resounding no. Hopefully that is changing as films such as Belle, Gone Too Far and Selma, all directed by black women incidentally, show that a good story is a good story. Yeah. But in the meantime, thank goodness for BAF. A very welcome and much needed showcase for the work of talented filmmakers who struggle for recognition in the mainstream. To have a platform where the work is screened, validated and celebrated is enormously valuable. It encourages people to keep going when they might otherwise give up. Being selected for the festival can also be the first step to securing that elusive distribution deal.
I feel that having done 4 films, I'm still at the beginning of my career. And one of the reasons why I feel this is because we know that those who have previously had the privilege to be making films traditionally would have been considered at the beginning of their careers if they had made only 2, 3, 4 films. And I know that as we begin our filmmaking careers, when we're making our first short or our first feature, we're so completely tunnel visioned that it's difficult to think past post-production, let alone a career. And yet, in order for us to be able to call ourselves directors with careers, we have to have sustainable, viable careers. We have to have sustainable, viable work that goes on beyond more than 1 film, beyond 2 films, beyond 3 films, beyond 4 films. So my hope and my wish in receiving this award is that in the years to come, BAF will have a plethora of talent that it can look at in order to honour and celebrate, not just through 4 films, which is still the beginning of a career, but 7, 8, 9, 10, just like those people who have been given the privilege before us and whose work stands alongside ours.
How are you feeling right now? What's going through your mind?
You know what? I just want everyone to go inside and watch the film. You know, I'm not talking to you guys, but I like to get to the nitty gritty. I want to know what everyone thinks about my movie because it's the baddest of its kind. So everyone needs to get inside and see that. So, but no, I'm happy, man. I'm happy that everyone came out. I'm happy to see my cast looking good. Look at that blue. I don't know where that type of blue. Right, try to stand me up. No, but I'm happy to be here, man. It's a good feeling. Like I worked so hard, and the cast worked so hard, and the crew worked so hard to get a moment like this. So it's all good, man.
The industry now is in a place where our voices can be heard, and our voices are being heard. There is space for everyone. But sometimes when it gets difficult, we have to look to our friends and our peers and our co-workers, and we need to achieve together because that's the only way we're going to do it. And until the day comes when we don't have to do it, we need to keep doing it, and we need to keep having things like this. And thank you very much.